The Minnesota Timberwolves are in a very ugly spot right now. They got the number 1 overall pick in a relatively weak 2020 draft class and selected Anthony Edwards at the pick. Edwards has been alright for them to say the least. They're currently 3-9, worst in the Western Conference, and the Warriors have their top 3 protected pick in this upcoming draft, which is looking loaded. They were able to get D'Angelo Russell, who's been pretty good this season, and him along with his buddy Karl-Anthony Towns can be a nice 1-2 punch. But Cat needs to stay healthy, as currently he's in quarantine as he's tested positive for COVID-19. Malik Beasley has been a nice 20-point scorer for them, and Naz Reid has done a pretty decent job replacing Cat. But this team is still bad, and the future is looking bleak in Minnesota. What can they do to fix it? We'll be looking at that today. Let's jump right into it. The Timberwolves have a lot of issues. They lack defense, a good frontcourt partner for Karl-Anthony Towns, more talent really. They wanted to make Cat happy by bringing in D'Lo, and although those two and Beasley have been a pretty alright trio, it's terrible on defense and they need help. They decided to go after Anthony Edwards in the draft to help them with perimeter defense as well as be a nice scorer for them, but they definitely could have gone a better route, which I'll explain later. Edwards has been alright to start his career, averaging 12.5 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists, but on awful efficiencies. He's been coming off the bench, and that may be the best for him so far. He's only 19, and he will get better over time, so there's no point in already giving him up on him already, but keep a wary eye on him for now. D'Lo has been pretty good to start the year, averaging 21 points and 5.5 assists on 44% from the field and 39% from beyond the arc. He's just waiting to finally be able to play with Cat, who's had an ugly start to the season, as he's had a wrist injury and now he tested positive for COVID-19. But in the 4 games he's played, he's been phenomenal, averaging 22 points and 12.5 rebounds on 46% from the field and 38% from 3, while also averaging 2.8 blocks per game. When healthy, he's shown that he can make a big impact for this team, but it sadly doesn't translate to wins. Malik Beasley is picking up where he left off last time, and when he was traded to Minnesota, he was averaging 20 points per game for them, and he continues to do so now, along with 5 boards and on 46% from the field and 39% from 3, which is fantastic. This team has some talent, but they definitely could have gone a different direction, and it would have helped him. Let's talk about what moves they could have done and what moves they could potentially make. While Edwards is still very young and can develop, I just don't think he fits with this team. They already have a 2 guard they can rely on in Malik Beasley, who played well with his team down the final stretch. Since drafting Cat, the Timberwolves have never been really able to provide him with a solid frontcourt partner, someone who can provide defense to accompany Cat well there. If you look at Indiana, Sabonis and Turner are a perfect fit, as Sabonis is able to score while Turner is a blocking machine, and both are one of the best frontcourts in the entire league. Although he might not be great at defense, Onyeka Okongwu would have still been a great frontcourt partner for Cat, as he's very athletic and already experienced, allowing them to take the next level faster. Now, they would have traded down with the Hawks, who would have needed a nice backcourt partner to Trae Young, and while Okongwu can be a great player for them, they would have just been better off with Edwards, as they already have Collins, Gallo, and Capella. The Hawks would have had to give up the 6th pick and probably Reddish in a future protected first. Reddish hasn't been great for them so far. Now, although giving up on someone that fast is somewhat immature, but with this trade, the Hawks are basically replacing Reddish with Edwards, which would probably be better for them. Okongwu is very versatile on the defensive side and can also score the ball pretty well as shown in his college days. Okongwu and Cat could have been a great frontcourt pairing, but they went with Edwards. This team doesn't have someone that can play both offense and defense, which hurts them a lot. Josh Okogie is a great defender, but is a liability on the offensive side. D'Lo and Cat are great scorers, but you really can't rely on them to play good defense. This team can't really make that many moves as they don't have that much talent, and they gave up their top 3 protected first to the Golden State Warriors in the D'Lo trade, so they have little to no flexibility. But I believe they can make one move, and that's for someone who doesn't look like he wants to be with his team anymore, at least according to his dad. Now, this trade seems like a very weak return for Bagley, but you gotta remember, Bagley is pretty injury prone and hasn't proven to be good so far. But pairing him with Cat in the frontcourt could potentially help him and Cat. Culver has been disappointing to say the least, and you might be thinking, why would they need him if they already have Halliburton and Hield? Well, Hield also hasn't been great, and him and Culver could be in a potential trade for them, so Culver can be a decent asset for them. Vanderbilt could be a nice for the Kings coming off the bench, and the 2 seconds can also be nice assets. This is a pretty weak trade for both teams, but they both don't really have much of an option, as both teams don't have the flexibility they wished, especially Minnesota. Minnesota is in a very ugly spot with not much talent, Golden State potentially getting their first next year, and barely any cap space and flexibility for the future. They wanted to get Cat and D'Lo's buddy in Devin Booker, but right now he seems to be happy in Phoenix with Chris Paul there. They decided to go with Edwards, and although he's still in his rookie season and could potentially develop into a nice two-way player for them, they could have gone in a different direction with trading down and getting a power forward, which would have probably set them in a better direction. This team just doesn't have good management, and they can't seem to draft well. I'm just praying to God they don't waste the talents of Cat and D'Lo. I feel sorry for Timberwolves fans. Anyway, thank you so much for watching today's video. Remember, our goal this year is to reach 1,000 subscribers, and we cannot reach that without your guys' help. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and have a great day. Peace out.